Hi there, I'm Sierra Cachillo, and today I will be talking about the Captain James Cook statue located in Hyde Park, Sydney, in New South Wales, Australia. I would like to start by saying that there are many ongoing discussions concerning the public commemoration and colonial legacies of this statue, and many of them have been triggered by not just this statue but other statues around the world about Captain Cook. Using insights from current discussions on this monument and its cultural heritage, I'm going to be examining its importance in this presentation and whether or not it should be removed or kept on public display or left in place. The Hyde Park statue of Captain Cook was built in 1879 in order to commemorate and honor Cook's journey to Australia in 1770. It features him holding a telescope in his hands, in which it is inscribed, "Discovered this territory in 1770," and it depicts him as a hero. And because this ignores the tens of thousands of years of Indigenous history prior to Cook's arrival, the wording has caused a major source of controversy and issues within the Indigenous community and beyond. Cook represents violence and dispossession and the destruction of Australian heritage due to the effects of colonization, and there is a large movement put forward because of this by the First Nations of Australia. Statues such as Cook's represent stories of this ruling class when they were created and are no longer emblematic of today's society. Public monuments frequently exalt colonial dominance while ignoring or even erasing other histories, especially the Indigenous or Native histories. This can be highlighted in the New York Times article, which features the statue of Theodore Roosevelt and his American colonialism during his time. And the Guardian article also emphasizes how monuments such as Cook's uphold this false notion of discovery that completely neglects an Indigenous population's existence and sovereignty. And for the First Nation Australians, Cook's arrival marks the beginning of centuries of systematic injustices and cultural loss and dispossession. And many people believe that the Cook statue only perpetuates this colonial narrative and damaging legacy. The Cook statue, according to its supporters, commemorates a significant period in Australian history, and some may see this statue or its value, at least for its educational purposes, as Cook's expeditions were a significant development in the world of exploration during this time. Others might even say that it can be argued that removing the statue would simply erase this history. And according to the Monuments YouTube video that was provided in this week's module, it states that this statue can serve as a contemplative tool when combined with its relevant historical context, and we can use the statue to start the conversation about Australia's colonial past rather than tear it down. On the other end of this ethical spectrum, critics contend that the inscription and the statue's conspicuous location undermine the validity of Indigenous sovereignty, and this leaves a huge damaging impact and legacy that is glorified when it's left unaltered. By removing the statue to perhaps a museum, it's still a dominant public space, but it could be eliminated or it can be contextualized in a way that ensures proper education and restores the true narrative of Captain Cook's impact on Australia. According to The Guardian, removing unchecked monuments is a step towards equity and reconciliation because they serve to perpetuate systematic injustices. Additionally, at this point in my presentation, I would like to bring up one of the movements that I found through my research involved the No Pride in Genocide movement put forward by the First Nation Australians and their valiant attempts to remove the statue and other iconography of Captain James Cook. Personally, I believe suggesting the idea that giving Hyde Park's Cook statue a new context in a more appropriate setting like a museum featuring the stories of Australia's histories would be more appropriate than removing it. It could also include additional exhibits or plaques that describe how Cook's explorations affected Australia's First Nations people, and most importantly, it would be crucial to involve these Indigenous communities in rewriting the statue's story, as their population was most impacted by Cook's actions and they are still facing injustice today because of it. This strategy supports the idea that was put forth in the New York Times article that monuments can be reinterpreted to serve as venues for reconciliation and for education. Hyde Park's statue of Captain James Cook truly captures the complexity of identity, memory, and history. It stands as an inclusive method of educating the public while addressing the negative effects of colonialism. To recontextualize the statue instead of removing it allows for its continued existence while maintaining the true narrative of Australian history without the glorification of a colonizer. We can use this monument for a tool for healing and understanding by recognizing all points of view. This concludes my presentation on the Captain James Cook statue, and I wanted to thank you for watching and giving me the space to learn more about cultural heritage and its importance in the anthropological setting. All sources have been provided in this bibliography and will also be available on the attachment, including the slides. Thank you.